So welcome everyone to this full moon meditation from Meditation Mount here in the Ojai Valley in Southern California. It's being held in the solar sign of Gemini with the full moon in Sagittarius. So let's gather ourselves from our various geographical locations. Let's create a unified field in which we can receive, register, and radiate the energies together. Let's bring ourselves briefly into an alignment. And through a series of deep, gentle breathing, we relax any tensions that are held in the physical body. Release, relax. We calm any stirrings inside our emotional body, our feelings, allowing the waters of our emotions to subside and become placid. And we breathe out any extraneous thoughts so that our mind is clear and serene. Now let us stand inside the silent and sacred place of our own hearts. Becoming aware of the pulsing of the one life. Knowing that at the heart of who we are, an eternal flame burns. This is the fire of love that is our atomic heart. It is what connects us to each other. So let us visualize lines of lighted love emanating from the fire in our heart, weaving together a group heart, a group chalice, in which we will receive, register, and radiate the blessings of this meditation. Thank you. So we've arrived at the third of the three major festivals of the spiritual year. It began in the fire sign of Aries with Easter, and Easter had the theme of regeneration, resurrection. We continued in the earth sign of Taurus with the Wesak Festival and the blessing of the earth by the Buddha. And now this series of three is culminating in the air sign of Gemini with the Festival of Goodwill, or the Festival of Humanity as it's called, which is a deep call to service, to dispense, disperse, and to distribute the blessings that are received in the Wesak Festival. So each of the three spiritual festivals carries its own extraplanetary, solar, and cosmic forces and energies. And they're transmitted from what's called in the Ageless Wisdom teaching, the vault of heaven. You can imagine the vault of heaven as the etheric network, which provides the medium of transmission for all the energies which play upon and through our solar system, through our planetary spheres, and all forms of life upon those spheres. And this vault of heaven, this etheric network, forms one unbroken field of activity in constant and ceaseless motion. It's a golden cosmic web that transmits the energies to be used by all who can recognize, receive, and cooperate with them. So this is ever present. What we're opening to is our ability to work with them. So significantly, this third festival occurs yearly at the time of the Gemini solar festival. So esoterically, Gemini controls the heart of our solar system. And thus, this sign rhythmically and ceaselessly pulsates the cosmic energy of love and wisdom into all areas of our planetary life. So through the constellation of Gemini, it provides the perpetual flow of essential love as a constant, ever-present permeation of all planes and states of planetary consciousness. We are told that our solar system is an expression of the second ray of love wisdom. And this energy reaches us through the sign of Gemini, which along with the constellations of the Great Bear and the Pleiades forms a cosmic triangle. And this cosmic triangle affects the life and work of the people and the nations of our planet. So looking at Gemini and the planets that rule it, the esoteric ruler of Gemini is Mercury, the divine messenger. The esoteric ruler is Venus, and Venus ruled in Taurus, and it brought the light of mind. And the hierarchical ruler, or the deepest ruler there is Earth itself. However, there is only one ray of all the 7 rays pouring through the portal of this zodiacal sign, and that is the aforementioned second ray of love wisdom. So this is a time where love can be anchored on the planet and distributed. It's a time of goodwill. It's the Festival of Goodwill, because goodwill is the primary expression of divine love upon earth. So you can see today's festival as an opportunity for us to help amplify the frequency of love within the auric field of our one humanity. So love is seen as the synthesizing energy that unites the pairs of opposites within each of us. And this sign, which is ruled by the heavenly twins, Castor and Pollux, is a sign of duality, in which the pairs of opposites may be resolved. And the spiritual motto of Gemini reflects this twofold nature. I recognize my other self, and in the waning of that self, I grow and glow. I recognize my other self, and in the waning of that self, I grow and glow. So as the light of the material aspect of ourself begins to dim, the personality doesn't hold sway anymore. It's an instrument of the soul. It is not the dictator of life. That wanes, that diminishes. And as the soul begins to grow, it glows. So this is a time for the revelation of that glow, which is the fire of love. And this third of the major festivals also has another name. It's called World Invocation Day. It's also called the Festival of the Christ. And it might be helpful to point out that in the ancient archives, before Christianity came to be, the term Christ or Christos was a title attributed to the purified or initiated one. Just as the title of Buddha was given to Siddhartha Gautama as a title of attainment indicating his ability to access Buddhic consciousness, so the title of Christ indicates the attainment of a high degree of initiation, which makes possible a love so inclusive that it encompasses all souls and all life on our planet. This is why in the Ageless Wisdom teachings, this office of the Christ is often translated as world teacher, and why the Christ as a presence is referred to as the teacher of love and unity, and the pulsating, reverberating planetary point of love divine, the Lord of love and compassion. So you can tell by this ancient description, it really says that the Christos, or the Christ that is waiting to be revealed, is the true birth of the light of love. And the Christ is described in the teachings as, quote unquote, eldest in a great family of brothers and sisters, master of all the masters, and the teacher alike of angels and of humans. So there's an ancient legend that tells that at the time of this full moon in the solar sign of Gemini, Christ gives again the last sermon of the Buddha. And this sermon explains the cause of suffering and how to overcome it. And by giving this last sermon again, it links the full enlightenment of the pre-Christian era and the wisdom of the Buddha to the cycle of distribution of the energy of love, for which Christ is responsible as the eldest in a great family of brothers and sisters. So to provide us with an energetic touch point to this ancient ritual, let's read together a synthesis of the Buddha's last sermon. Herein, O Ananda, let a brother, as he dwells in the body, so regard the body that he, being strenuous, thoughtful, and mindful, may, whilst in the world, overcome the grief which arises from the body's cravings. While subject to sensations, let him continue so to regard the sensations that he, being strenuous, thoughtful, and mindful, may, whilst in the world, overcome the grief which arises from the sensations. And so also, when he thinks or reasons or feels, let him so regard his thought that, being strenuous, thoughtful, and mindful, he may, whilst in the world, overcome the grief which arises from the craving due to ideas, or to reasoning, or to feeling. Those who either now or after I am dead shall be a lamp unto themselves, relying upon themselves only, and not relying upon any external help, but holding fast to the truth as their lamp, and seeking their salvation in the truth alone, shall not look for assistance to anyone besides themselves. It is they, Ananda, among my bhikshus, who shall reach the very topmost height. But they must be anxious to learn. My age is now full ripe. My life draws to its close. I leave you, I depart, relying on myself alone. Be earnest then, O brethren, holy, full of thought. Be steadfast in resolve. Keep watch over your own hearts. Who wearies not, but holds fast to his truth and law, shall cross this sea of life, shall make an end of grief. When the light of gnosis has dispelled the darkness of ignorance, when all existence has been seen as without substance, peace ensues when life draws to an end, which seems to cure a long sickness at last. Everything, whether stationary or movable, is bound to perish in the end. Be ye therefore mindful and vigilant. The time for my entry in nirvana has now arrived. These are my last words. So that, if you like, was a condensation of the Buddha's last sermon. For me, the Buddha and the Christ are more than just religious and historical people, because we hold them to be great exemplars and way showers of the evolutionary journey that we're on. They achieved that to which we aspire, and they reached a degree of mastery and embodiments of light and love respectively. So for me, they are lamps, they are lights on the way. And the Buddha and the Christ are like the two pillars of Gemini, the sign that is the cosmic gateway for the forces of Sirius to permeate its lower self, our solar system, infusing it with energies of the greater cosmic plan and purpose. So our solar system is the field of expression for the being that is Sirius. Now, these are sort of more occult information, but treat it as a deep mystery that brings profundity to this time. So the importance of this festival has added significance today because of the present state of our world. We're in the midst of an enormous global crisis. There's growing civil unrest, there's warfare, there are darkening clouds growing in intensity each day, and there's an alarming and looming environmental breakdown. However, we hold the key to turning things around. So as we gather with like-hearted groups and individuals around the world to engage in a collective meditation that mobilizes the forces of goodness and regeneration, we're part of this possibility. We are offered an opportunity to anchor the light of a new day in the hearts and minds of humanity. I think all of us realize we stand together at a momentous choice point, either remaining stuck in the prison of separation and hatred, or choosing to liberate ourselves and move forward to something new that is founded on higher values and soul qualities. The adapted version of the Great Invocation, because this is also the World Invocation Day, the adapted version that Diana will be using later refers to the coming one. May the coming one return to earth. So let me, by way of completion, say a few words about the doctrine of avatars. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, the soul or the Christ presence within, declares, whenever there is a withering of the law and an uprising of lawlessness on all sides, then I manifest myself for the salvation of the righteous and the destruction of such as do evil, for the firm establishing of the law, I come to birth, age after age. So the anticipated coming one is known by different names in the world traditions. Here are a few. For the Jewish people, it's the awaited Messiah. For some Muslims, it is the return of the Imam Mahdi. For Christians, it's the return of the Christ. And for Buddhists, it's the coming of the Lord Maitreya. So I offer you something to ponder on. What if we view the coming one and the accompanying band of helpers as universal first responders, responding to a desperate and despairing cry from the heart of a divided humanity? This is the cri de coeur that is issuing forth from all of our hearts. But they're not coming to bail us out. They're coming to, as it says in the Ageless Wisdom, show us the light we seek and give us the strong aid of their compassion and wisdom. So this band of spiritual first responders is also responding to the deep call of the soul of the planet. And it's seeking to help us organize and help us mobilize as a force for good. And this Festival of Goodwill today is when our one human family can open its heart, when we can unleash the power of love into the world as we consciously bring ourselves into alignment with the presence of a greater love. So holding all of this inside the auric field of our assembly, inside the chalice of our heart, Diana will now lead us in the meditation.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully you're seeing this. So welcome back. I think it's not echoing on my end any longer, so that worked, Joey. So welcome to World Invocation Day and the Festival of Goodwill. And so here we go on this big Gemini solar energy that is full moon in Sagittarius. So the Sagittarius is the archer, the truth will make you free, and Gemini is the twins. And so I will just add this into a piece by Alice Bailey that I read this morning that feels really appropriate for today, considering the times we're in. This is from Alice Bailey, and she wrote this in Esoteric Astrology, and it says, "The mystery of this sign is in reality concerned with the secret of the response which should and eventually will exist between the two brothers, between the two poles, soul and form, and between the mortal self or personality and the immortal self and the soul. Gemini is the sign that symbolically resolves all, so the so-called pairs of opposites become synthesized into a whole. And that is the energy right now of the polarization that Gemini energy knows particularly how to balance, that polarization that is happening in our world right now, that this particular full moon energy addresses, it makes whole. So it's such an important time, and how we use our energy, balance our energy, blend our energies right now affect everything, because everything is any energy, and everything is rippling out and affecting everything else. So that phrase, as a man thinketh, right? As a woman thinketh, as we think, so it is. And so there's this important responsibility that comes in Gemini. What we think, what we say, what we do affects everything. And so minding our energy, minding our own thinkings, even to hold for the highest, no matter what. So I was thinking of these times and the polarization of these times. I was thinking of the old story of Cain and Abel, right? The warring brothers, like that Alice Bailey quote. The warring brothers, the Civil War, the North and the South, right? And so much in my meditations, as I've been working with the energies for many years now, this feels karmic, right? And the karma of the Civil War that never really quite resolved. And here it's coming up for healing again. So another round on the healing for that polarity. So the brothers, the Civil War, the them and us, and then you can even take it deeper into with the soul and the self, right? That relationship between the soul and the self that many would not necessarily know is even there, and yet it is fully there. And the moment that we remember that it is there, it clicks back. That soul with self becomes the way that we move through the world. And and then you can think of that other phrase, that as above, so below, right? So this is the harmonization then, the harmonization of the energies to heal these energies, to bring these energies into balance of this apparent polarization. And this apparent polarization has a function. It's not just random. It's a healing crisis. We are having a healing crisis. And one of the things I've been saying lately is that the United States is going through the long night of the soul, that dark night of the soul, right? Because we had our Pluto return, right? So that was the uprooting, the upending of everything we understand about what America even is. And the whole world is having its response to that and their own experiences with that too. So it's such a powerful time right now to keep yourselves balanced, to keep myself balanced. So as you come into this full moon, we're going to work with bridging the gap, bridging the divide, bridging the chasm. Think rainbow, like a rainbow bridge that goes from one side to the other, that keeps these two apparently separated points blending, harmonizing. And that is something we can do energetically. This makes a difference in terms of what happens in the world, how this gets experienced by the world, is how we're holding it, how we're thinking about it, how we're speaking about it, what we're doing is all connected. And so we can use this time with this dissemination of light, this light that has been compacting and growing from Aries full moon to the Taurus full moon in Wesak last month, and now this concentration of light. What we're going to do with it is offer it out. So it conditions through the heart center, and then it moves out into the world as pure light. So one of the things that I wanted to just add into this, into a thought about how to work with these energies, is the concept of standing at the axis of truth, vertical, and love, horizontal. This axis of truth and love that we stand in the center of, and it's very dynamic at that point where they cross. And it can be upside down and right side up and turn and move. And you keep holding your balance, right? With truth plus love as a dynamic action of a positioning of the self to be standing in truth vertically and love horizontally, moving through that energy as you encounter anything that you're observing, experiencing, seeing, being told, whatever way it comes in, that you keep standing at this in this nexus, that's the word, this nexus. It's very dynamic here. And so in our meditation, even as thoughts come through, as worries come through, as fears move through, you're still standing on this dynamic platform that's in motion of truth plus love. And another way to say that is awareness and compassion. Awareness and compassion. So when we are standing in truth by itself, it can be sharp. It's like the sword, right? The Ace of Swords, that sword of truth. It cuts through. And by itself, it can cut, right? But when it's blended and harmonized with love, it can take in anything in front of it and harmonize it together into that combination so that it isn't being reacted to, it isn't going into a judgment flow inside the head. And so awareness plus compassion, truth plus love, awareness and compassion, so that no matter what you're encountering, it's sort of coming through you in this way so it doesn't get sort of turned into judgment, reaction, retaliation, all the things, all the emotions that can come up when we are seeing things that are hard to see. So there's a steadiness in that. And meditation is steady. So we're going to move into that meditation now to feel that steadiness, to retouch that point, and to offer this accumulated light out into our world that needs this light so much right now. And it's coming through in through all these meditation groups around the world, and it's just coming through, period. Even if for people that don't meditate, they're receiving this energy too, to the capacity that they can. So this light is affecting, right? It makes a difference. And if there's any willingness, right, from the being, we can be impressed with the energy of this higher awareness that is coming through right now, part of the divine plan. So these are powerful times, and the full moon will be full exactly at 12:43 a.m. tonight, so basically tomorrow morning, but tonight. And you can meditate then too and really touch exactly at the exact time with all kinds of meditators around the world, just like we're doing now. People are meditating a couple of days before, a couple of days after. So there's this flow of energy that's happening these 5 days around the full moon. But the exact time is at 12:43 Wednesday morning, or tonight, this evening, 12:43. So let's do it. Let's get ready for our meditation. So set yourself up in a comfortable way and just let your breath get deeper and fuller. As you feel yourself come into this time and space, using your breath to balance yourself, feeling your body, mind, and heart come into alignment and inner harmony with each other. Inside yourself, silently make an Om and use this silent Om as the way that you harmonize the bodies. As you take your seat in the center of the heart chakra, and as you touch this point at the center of the heart, feeling from this place the experience and the sensation of pure love. Breathing here gently, connecting to all hearts around the world, in form and not in form. And let your breath get deeper as you balance your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental body with the breath. And you begin to become still. And you start to sense this accumulating love. And I mean love with a capital L. Love, sacred love, divine love, growing in your heart. And from this well of depth of heart, allow a line of light to move up and into the head center. And take your seat for this meditation here. Now, the moment that you are seated in this space, in the heart of the mind, in the heart of the head, the crown chakra responds and opens, and the alignment with the soul is instant. And just sensing soul with self in the heart of the head center. And as you establish yourself in this place, remembering that we are soul, just remembering that we are infinite consciousness. You feel that continuing alignment that moves upward through the masters and the teachers that have come before us, and sensing that Christed light, that pure love of the Christ at its center. Today especially, this offering of light and love moving out and to you and to all. You feel this pouring of love, of light, moving through all the fields into the world and into you. And in this moment, And we say in this silence, as we move into the silence for these 10 minutes or so, use this phrase to take you into the full experience of light and love. And the phrase is today, we stand in the light of truth and love. I stand in the light of truth and love. Standing in the light of truth and love. Centered in love, centered in light, in perfect balance, in perfect harmony. With all that is. Sense this ever-increasing light now, pouring through you into every cell of your body, into every being on this planet. Standing in the light of love and power, truth and love, awareness and compassion. Om. And as you feel yourself perfectly poised, centered in this light, sending this energy out in soft streams outward that move through time and space in every direction from you, 360 degrees of light, affecting, lighting up your home, your neighborhood, your community, your city. Your country, your continent, the world. Light and love, light and love. And see these waves of light just moving now into every part of the world. Touching every point of awareness. In goodwill, in peace. And we'll close this meditation with the great invocation, followed by 3 ohms on World Invocation Day. Remembering that the great invocation is a mantra. It's alchemical, it's a formula, and it has a rhythm. And so as you read it or speak it, feel that intelligence moving through you. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into all human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into all human hearts. May the coming one return to earth from the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Truth plus love, awareness and compassion. We offer all of this light out into our world. And we'll just make a conscious blessing now, sending it out throughout all the realms, to the trees, to the mountains, to the oceans, to the people, to all beings. All blessings to all beings. Om. All blessings to all beings. Om. All blessings to all beings. Om. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being part of this powerful full moon meditation, world service meditation on Invocation Day in 2025. Letting that light flow through you in every word, action, thought that is letting this light walk with you and through you, through your eyes, through your voice, through every part of you, offering this light as love in the world. The blessings from Meditation Mount and everyone here at Meditation Mount. And Joey, thank you for saving the day. And we'll see you next time, which will be Wednesday, July 9th, for the next full moon meditation. Thank you, everyone.